I often get asked, what's your secret? People can't believe it when I tell them I'm 92 and I don't take a single pill. Not one. And the truth is, I haven't been sick in over 30 years. Now, I'm not saying this to brag, I'm saying it because I want you to feel this good too. And the best part? It's not some complicated routine or expensive supplement. It's as simple as what I put on my plate every day. So today, I'm going to share with you the 7 foods that have kept me healthy, strong, and full of energy all these years. These aren't fancy or hard to find, just simple, everyday foods that pack a powerful punch. And trust me, if I can do it, so can you. Now, let's start with the first one, the one I call my daily dose of sunshine. 1. Leafy greens, the ultimate immune booster. Every morning, without fail, I have a big handful of leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, whatever's in season. And no, I'm not talking about a sad little side salad. I pile them on. These greens are loaded with vitamins A, C, and K, plus folate and iron, all the things your body craves to stay strong. I remember my neighbor, Martha, used to joke that I was part rabbit because of how much I ate. But then she started joining me for lunch, and within a few months, her arthritis pain eased up. She couldn't believe it. Now, I'm not saying greens will cure everything, but they sure do give your body the tools it needs to fight back. 2. Berries, nature's tiny powerhouses. Next up, berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, you name 'em, I eat 'em. And not just because they're sweet and delicious, though that helps. These little gems are bursting with antioxidants, which help protect your cells from damage. Think of them like tiny bodyguards for your health. I like to toss a handful into my oatmeal or yogurt, or just snack on them plain. And here's a tip, frozen berries are just as good as fresh, so there's no excuse not to have them year-round. My grandson once asked me, "Grandma, are you eating berries again?" I just smiled and said, "Yep, and that's why I can still beat you at cards." 3. Nuts and seeds, the crunchy secret to longevity. Now, let's talk about nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, these are my go-to snacks. They're packed with healthy fats, protein, and fiber, which keep your heart strong and your digestion running smoothly. I always keep a small jar of mixed nuts in my pocket when I'm out. It's my emergency fuel. And here's the thing, you don't need a lot. Just a small handful a day is enough to make a difference. My friend Ed used to complain about his cholesterol until he started snacking on walnuts instead of chips. Last time I saw him, his doctor was amazed at the improvement. Now, these first 3 foods are just the beginning. They've been the foundation of my health for decades, but there are 4 more that play a huge role, foods that keep my mind sharp, my joints flexible, and my energy steady. And I can't wait to share them with you. So, let's keep going, because the best is yet to come. When I tell people about these foods, some folks nod right away, they've heard it before. But others give me that look, like, really? That's all it takes? And I get it. We've been told so many things about health over the years, miracle cures, strict diets, pills for every little ache, that it's hard to believe something as simple as food could make such a difference. But here's the thing, our bodies know what to do with real, wholesome food. They've been doing it for thousands of years. So let's keep going with the next 2 foods that have been my loyal companions on this journey to staying strong and medicine-free. 4. Garlic, the humble superhero. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, garlic. Really? But what about the smell? Oh, I hear you. But trust me, a little garlic breath is a small price to pay for what this mighty little bulb does for your health. I use garlic in everything, soups, stir-fries, even mashed into my morning avocado toast. Why? Because it's one of nature's most powerful healers. It fights off infections, keeps your heart healthy, and even helps lower blood pressure. My grandmother used to say, "A clove a day keeps the doctor away," and you know what? She lived to 98, sharp as a tack. Here's a little trick, if raw garlic is too strong for you, roast it. It becomes sweet, creamy, and oh so delicious. I'll never forget the time my daughter-in-law tried my roasted garlic hummus. She couldn't believe something so good could also be so good for her. 5. Fermented foods, the gut's best friend. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: fermented foods. Sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, kefir, these tangy, flavorful foods are like a tune-up for your gut. And a happy gut means a strong immune system, better digestion, and even a clearer mind. I make my own sauerkraut at home. It's easier than you think. Just cabbage, salt, and a little patience. And every spoonful is packed with probiotics, those friendly little bacteria that keep everything running smoothly. My neighbor, George, used to have terrible heartburn until he started having a small bowl of homemade yogurt with his lunch. Within weeks, he was off those antacids for good. You know, people spend so much money on fancy probiotic pills when nature's been giving us the real thing for free all along. 6. Olive oil, liquid gold. Now, this next one is something I never skip: extra virgin olive oil. I drizzle it on salads, swirl it into soups, even take a spoonful straight if I'm feeling a little under the weather. This stuff is liquid gold. It's full of healthy fats that fight inflammation, protect your heart, and even keep your brain sharp. And here's the key: always get the good stuff. Dark glass bottle, cold pressed, extra virgin. None of that pale, flavorless oil in plastic bottles. I remember my old friend Rosa from Italy. She used to say, if you can't taste the olives, it's not real olive oil. She lived to 102, still tending her garden and making her own pasta. Now that's a life well lived. Now, we've covered 6 foods so far, each one a simple, delicious way to give your body what it truly needs. But there's one more that might just be the most important of all. It's kept my mind sharp, my bones strong, and my energy steady even into my 90s. And I'll tell you all about it right after this. Now, we've come to the last, but certainly not least, of my 7 everyday foods. And I'll be honest with you, this one might surprise some folks. It's not exotic or expensive. In fact, it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. But when I tell you what it's done for me, well, let's just say it's the reason I can still tend my garden, remember my great-grandkids' birthdays, and wake up every morning feeling ready for the day. 7. Beans and lentils, the longevity staple. Beans. Yes, beans. Humble, hearty, and packed with more staying power than just about any food out there. Black beans, chickpeas, lentils, you name it, I eat them nearly every single day. They're my secret weapon for steady energy, strong muscles, and keeping my blood sugar balanced. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but beans make me gassy. Oh, I've heard it all before. But here's the trick: start small. Your gut just needs time to get used to them. Soak them well, cook them slow, and add a pinch of cumin or fennel. It helps. My late husband, God rest his soul, used to joke that my lentil soup could power a locomotive. And you know what? He wasn't wrong. The fiber in beans keeps your digestion smooth, the protein keeps you strong without weighing you down, and the minerals, like magnesium and potassium, are like a tune-up for your heart. My friend Clara switched from deli meats to bean salads for lunch, and within months, her doctor took her off blood pressure medication. That's the power of real food. I keep these cooked and ready in my fridge at all times, toss them in soups, mash them into patties, or stir them into rice with a little garlic and olive oil. Simple. Satisfying. And exactly what your body craves. Now, before we wrap up, let me tell you what all these foods have in common. They're not fads. They're not superfoods flown in from some far-off mountain. They're the foods our grandparents ate, the foods that kept them healthy long before pills and potions took over. And here's the best part: you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start with 1. Maybe it's adding a handful of spinach to your eggs. Or swapping your afternoon cookies for a bowl of berries and walnuts. Small steps, my friends. That's how lasting change happens. I turned 92 last month. My doctor calls me his most boring patient because I never have anything to report. But I'll tell you what I do have: mornings where I wake up without aches. Evenings where I still have the energy to play cards with my great-grandkids. And the deep, unshakable joy of knowing my body is still my friend, not my enemy. That's what I want for you. Not just more years in your life, but more life in your years. So tell me in the comments, which of these foods are you already loving? Which ones will you try this week? I read every single note you leave, and I'd love to cheer you on. And if this video brought you even one little spark of hope or inspiration, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs it, and subscribe. Because we're just getting started, you and I. Here's to your health, at 60, 92, and every glorious year in between. Now go enjoy your next meal. Make it count.